Imagine walking into a room where everyone seems smarter than you. They speak confidently. They use words you don't fully understand. They seem to know things before you even realize there's something to know. Your first instinct is discomfort. Your ego tightens. You feel exposed. And somewhere deep inside, a quiet voice whispers, "I don't belong here." But what if that feeling is not a weakness? What if it's actually the most powerful position you could ever be in? We grow up being taught to avoid looking stupid. In school, the student with the right answer gets praise. At work, the person who sounds confident gets promoted. In society, we reward certainty, speed, and dominance. From a young age, we learn that being the smartest person in the room equals safety, respect, and success. So naturally, we chase it. We talk more than we listen. We pretend to know things we don't. We protect our image instead of pursuing the truth. And yet, every meaningful breakthrough in history came from people who were willing to admit they didn't know. Being the stupidest person in the room doesn't mean you lack intelligence. It means you have the courage to put yourself in environments where growth is possible. Because if you are always the smartest person in the room, you are in the wrong room. When you're the smartest person, you teach what you already know. When you're the least knowledgeable, you learn what you don't. One leads to comfort, the other leads to progress. The truth is, learning only happens when we acknowledge gaps in our understanding. Curiosity begins where certainty ends. The moment you say, "I don't know," you open the door to discovery. But ego hates that sentence. Ego wants to be right. Ego wants applause. Ego wants control. Growth, on the other hand, requires humility. Think about leadership. The best leaders are not the ones with all the answers. They are the ones who ask the best questions. They create spaces where others feel safe to speak, to challenge, to contribute. A leader who needs to be the smartest in the room will silence the room. A leader who is comfortable being the least knowledgeable will unlock the collective intelligence of the group. In the United States, we celebrate individual achievement. We celebrate the self-made story, the genius, the standout. But even the most successful individuals will tell you the same thing: they didn't do it alone. Behind every great achievement is a room full of people who knew more than they did in specific areas. The difference is not intelligence. The difference is mindset. There is a profound strength in saying, "Teach me." When you're the stupidest in the room, you listen more. You observe more. You notice patterns others miss because they're too busy proving themselves. You ask questions that seem basic but often reveal deeper truths. And most importantly, you grow faster than anyone else in that room. The fear, of course, is judgment. We worry others will think less of us. But here's the paradox: people respect curiosity more than performance. They trust honesty more than posturing. When someone openly admits they don't know, it gives others permission to do the same. That's how trust is built. That's how cultures of learning are created. There is also freedom in not needing to be the expert. You don't carry the burden of always being right. You don't fear being challenged. You don't feel threatened by smarter people. Instead of competition, you experience collaboration. Instead of insecurity, you experience inspiration. And this applies beyond work. It applies to life. In relationships, being willing to say, "I don't understand," is far more powerful than pretending you do. In parenting, admitting you're still learning builds trust with your children. In personal growth, acknowledging you're not there yet is the first step toward becoming who you want to be. The most dangerous phrase in any room is, "I already know that." The moment you believe you've arrived, you stop evolving. The world changes. Technology changes. People change. And those who cling to the illusion of being the smartest are often the first to become irrelevant. History is filled with examples of organizations and leaders who failed not because they were stupid, but because they thought they were smart enough. They ignored new voices. They dismissed new ideas. They stayed comfortable while the world moved on. Now contrast that with those who intentionally put themselves in rooms where they feel small. Entrepreneurs who surround themselves with people better than them. Artists who study under masters. Athletes who train with those who outperform them. They choose discomfort because they understand something most people don't. Confidence is not knowing everything. Confidence is being secure enough to learn anything. Being the stupidest in the room also teaches resilience. You learn how to sit with discomfort without running from it. You learn how to fail without quitting. You learn how to separate your self-worth from your current level of knowledge. And that is a critical skill in a world that changes faster than any generation before us has experienced. The irony is that over time, the person willing to be the least knowledgeable often becomes the most wise. Not because they started smarter, but because they stayed open. They stayed curious. They stayed humble. This is not about playing small or lacking ambition. It's about choosing growth over ego. It's about understanding that intelligence is not a fixed trait but a lifelong practice. The smartest people are not those with the most answers, but those who never stop asking questions. So the next time you walk into a room and feel that familiar discomfort, pause. Instead of shrinking, lean in. Instead of pretending, listen. Instead of protecting your image, invest in your future. Because that room is not a threat. It's an opportunity. An opportunity to learn faster than you ever have. An opportunity to see the world through sharper lenses. An opportunity to become someone better than the person who walked in. The truth about being the stupidest in the room is simple, but not easy to accept. It is the fastest path to growth, the strongest foundation for leadership, and the clearest sign that you are exactly where you need to be.